Welcome to the BEASTwriter podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be discussing Kyle Shanahan's comments on KNBR Murph and Max show in regards to defensive end Arik Armstead. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you and we will get started. So Kyle Shanahan says, when it comes to production, that's a big deal, especially with someone like Arik who has done it and has been here in the past. He's only done it 1 year, bro. And that's a contract year. That was last year. What happened to the first 4 years before that? Anyways, but our production has been down across the board on D-line. Not true. And D-line is a tough position with production. I mean, everyone bases it off sacks and everything like that. Not this guy. When you get sacks and you get those numbers up, a lot of it has to do with committee, and that's one reason I think all our guys had good numbers last year. Let's break down this brick by brick. All right? The statement is 100% false. He said, and I quote, brick by brick, but our production has been down across the board on D-line, and D-line is a tough position with production. That's not true. That's not true. In my grading system, I have DJ Jones on pace to have more tackles for loss, more stuffs, and more quarterback pressures than he did last year, so that's false. Second of all, Kerry Hyder Jr., who wasn't even on the team last year, is the best defensive player on the 49ers defensive line. And he's putting in work and playing better than Ronald Blair did last year, so that's not true. Furthermore, you have defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw is on pace to break defensive tackle DeForest Buckner's tackle record last year in my grading system, which is tackle wins. All right, so that's not true what Kyle Shanahan says. Again, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. He also said that Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to be the starter next year. Yeah, good story, bro. Okay, moving on. He says, the second part of that is when you have two studs off the edge and we had two studs inside and mixing them up throughout a game, and it keeps everybody fresh, everyone gets to eat, and everybody has good numbers. Armstead knows that, and he wants to play at a higher level. We want everyone to play at a higher level, but by no means does Armstead's numbers mean that he's playing bad football. Then why have numbers? In addition, he says, Arik defends the run better than anyone we have. Not true. And as good as anyone I've seen in this league. Again, not true. If you follow me on Twitter, I pointed out NFC West players within the division who are playing far better than him in run support. I also pointed it out that DeForest Buckner and Javon Kinlaw and Kerry Hyder, who are both staples of the team from last year and this year, are playing better than Arik Armstead has the past 2 seasons. And the list goes on and on and on. Actually, I don't even follow PFF, but they ranked him as the 60th best defensive lineman in stopping the run. So don't take my word for it. I don't take PFF's word for it if you don't like my grading system, which is on point, but yeah. All right. Furthermore, Kyle Shanahan must not watch the Pittsburgh Steelers because Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and Tyson Lulu will blow Arik Armstead out of the water in run support. And DeForest Buckner, who I just mentioned for the Colts, is having one hell of a game, as you can see right here on the TV. He's having a great season, and what changed for the Colts? It was DeForest Buckner. And then in the NFC West, like I alluded to in my Twitter earlier, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm just going to point out some names. Aaron Donald, Jaron Reed from the Seattle Seahawks, and Blackson from the Arizona Cardinals have all played better versus the run than Arik Armstead. And then you have Javon Kinlaw, of course, his own teammate, and Kerry Hyder Jr., okay? So, with that being said, this is a huge smokescreen. Another huge smokescreen and back-to-back conversations that he had with those in the media saying that, he expects Jimmy Garoppolo to be the starter next year. That's BS. I think he expects to draft a quarterback next year to be the heir apparent and successor to Jimmy Garoppolo. And then he says that Arik Armstead is quote-unquote one of the best run stuffers in the game. Not true, bro. The film doesn't lie. Turn on the tape and see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Grade your snaps, snap by snap count, and then you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Now, Shanahan is smart in covering his players' deficiencies. Like I just said, he says the right things from a coach's perspective. No one can doubt a coach's perspective because it's coming from the coach himself. However, behind closed doors, do you think he's really thinking that? No, absolutely not. Take it a step further. Arik Armstead was mad about not making the Pro Bowl, right? So let's take it a step further. Who are the players in the NFL who are getting it done without Pro Bowl talent around them? Let's think about that. Again, who are the players who are playing at a Pro Bowl talent level with no Pro Bowl talent around them? Well, I'm going to give you the rundown because I cover all 32 NFL teams. Grady Jarrett from the Atlanta Falcons. Fletcher Cox from the Philadelphia Eagles is another one. Myles Garrett from Cleveland Browns. DeForest Buckner right here behind me on the screen for the Indianapolis Colts. And then you have Cam Jordan from the New Orleans Saints. So you add that up and you get Pro Bowl players. You can also put in Danielle Hunter in there, who's been out this whole year for the Minnesota Vikings, and that's why they brought in Yannick Ngakoue and then traded him to the Baltimore Ravens later because Danielle Hunter is supposed to come back at some point, either this year or next year. I think it's next year, if you have to ask me, but I think he's on IR, but I'm not too sure about that, but you guys get where I'm going with this. This is why you need to follow all 32 NFL teams. You can filter through the BS and get to the truth. Plain and simple. All right, Armstead is struggling. Shanahan knows it. Who cares about sack numbers? He even alluded to it. Okay, let's take the sack numbers out. We all know he's struggling in sack numbers. But let's get down to it. It doesn't even matter if you have sack numbers if you can't get to third down anyways. And if you don't know what to look for in evaluating run, that's what I'm here for, because I will break it down brick by brick for you. You can tell by the defensive line what their assignment is by how they're playing their techniques, and then obviously how the second level players, the linebackers, are playing their splits, and then how the coverage on the back end is playing their respective zones. All right, so saying that, what I'm seeing from Arik Armstead is the same problems I saw last year, which is rush integrity is erratic, his gap control is inconsistent, and his does a bad job, of setting the edge in flushing plays back inside to his help. Now, where these issues occur mostly is on jet sweeps, tight end seal him, or a wide receiver seal him on the backside, and mainly what you're looking at is he's just not getting to his spot, as you would say in football. And when you're not leveraging your technique properly, that's where mental errors and fundamental mistakes are going to occur. The right play should have been to extend Buckner, as I said, though. I mean, I know I'm going off topic here, but it just irritates me because I said it time and time again. It's in the description in my BEASTwriter podcast right here. I'll include it in my description so you can kind of connect the dots. I predicted this exact scenario would play out, and everybody who was writing Armstead, you're just an Armstead hater. No, man, I'm not an Armstead hater. I'm a realist. I see things for the future, and he had one good year, and it was a contract year. He's motivated by money, and now we're seeing what happens, all right? So, check the YouTube receipt. I called it. Now Niners are stuck with an $85 million man proving to be nothing more than a complimentary two-down player. If that, because he's not very good against the run, so he's not very good against the pass without Nick Bosa there, so what exactly is he? He's definitely not a Pro Bowl talent, so no reason why you're upset about that. So what exactly are they getting? All I got to say is, he is what he is, and he is what we thought they were. And we let him off the hook, as Denny Green would say from the Arizona Cardinals. All right, that'll be it for today. Hope you liked my BEASTwriter podcast. If you did, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as I keep all things Beast. Also, there is a thumbs up in all my videos, so you can go ahead and hit that and also subscribe there. My social media icons are up there for you to follow on all my platforms. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. Stay hungry. BEASTwriter out.